Another case of open mouth insert foot, lose jobs.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the 10 incidents that got news anchors fired.
When new allegations came to us this week, we took them seriously and saw no reason to delay taking immediate action.
For this list, we'll be looking at controversial events that resulted in the dismissal of news hosts. Did we miss any other dismissal-worthy scandals? Let us know in the comments.
Are you in the market for a new smartwatch? Check out GetMojo's list of recommendations in the description below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe for the latest product reviews, unboxings, and recommendations.
Number 10. Rick Sanchez. The broadcasting career of Rick Sanchez began from as early as his college days.
When I think back to all the people and all the places that I've been, it's not the famous names or the exotic places that really stand out.
The Cuban-American news host cut his teeth working for the local affiliate stations in Miami and Houston before getting on the national stage in the early 2000s. In 2004, Sanchez joined CNN, where he eventually started hosting his own show, Rick's List.
This morning I asked the question right here on the Twitter board, directing it mostly to Rick's List, so I'd get comments from people who are relevant to the story.
Feeling slighted over the replacement of his program in its primetime slot, Sanchez went on an anti-Semitic rant in an interview with Pete Dominic.
You're such a minority. I mean, please. What are you kidding?
You're telling me that
I'm telling you that everybody who runs CNN is a lot like Stewart. And a lot of people who run all the other networks are a lot like Stewart.
It didn't take too long for the consequences of his remarks to materialize. He was fired the very next day by CNN, with his show airing its last episode that same night. Number 9. Bob Beckel. The late Bob Beckel served as a co-host of the Fox News show The Five from 2011 to 2015.
By your own admission, that's a mistake.
No, I don't think it's a mistake. I don't think we should be there at all.
Beckel's time on the program was marred by multiple controversial remarks, including some targeted at Muslims and Asian Americans. He was initially let go by the news station after missing his show for months while he recuperated from back surgery. Beckel was brought back on the program 2 years later.
Hey, how are you?
Congratulations. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. I should say congratulations to you, but I can't.
Only to receive the chop again for uttering racially insensitive comments at an African-American employee. In a time when multiple top figures at the network were dealing with harassment allegations, Fox News decided to save face by parting ways with Beckel. This time for good. Number 8. Charlie Rose. As a TV journalist with over 40 years of experience, Charlie Rose built an esteemed reputation for himself and anchored different shows on multiple networks.
Welcome to CBS This Morning, and boy, am I happy to be here.
All of that came crumbling down in the wake of the 2017 #MeToo movement. In November of that year, an article was published by the Washington Post which uncovered multiple allegations of misconduct against the famed host.
Most of these women that we talked to were working for him at a very early stage in their careers. So for them, I think that there would be a tremendous risk, to speaking out against his behavior.
Within 24 hours of the publication, Rose's shows were suspended, and he was quickly taken off the anchor's chair. Rose released an apology soon after, accepting responsibility for his actions, yet still trying to undermine some of the allegations leveled against him.
I deeply apologize for my inappropriate behavior. I am greatly embarrassed. I have behaved insensitively at times, and I accept responsibility for that.
Number 7. Eric Bolling. A conservative pundit and television host, Eric Bolling began his TV career as a financial analyst on CNBC's Fast Money. He made the transition to the Fox Business Network in the late 2000s and eventually worked his way up to becoming one of the hosts on The Five.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Bolling, along with Kimberly Guilfoyle, Bob Beckel, Dana Perino, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The Five.
But Bolling's steady rise at Fox would go into freefall in September 2017 when an article by HuffPost alleged misconduct on his part. The report claims that Bowling had repeatedly sent inappropriate pictures and text messages to his female co-workers. Bowling quickly came out to deny the allegations, but he was suspended by the network while they investigated the claims. About a month later, Bowling was dismissed and his show was ultimately canceled.
Colonel Ralph Peters said my wife of 20 years and I are completely on board on the same page, and that I've never done anything like that.
Number 6. Ed Henry. During his time as the chief White House correspondent for Fox News, Ed Henry was hit with a scandal that jeopardized his career. It was alleged that Henry had engaged in an extramarital affair with a Las Vegas cocktail hostess.
In response, Fox News put out a statement saying, "We recently became aware of Ed's personal issues and he's taking some time off to work things out."
This revelation led to a 4-month suspension from the network, after which Henry slowly tried to rehabilitate his reputation. In 2020, however, more allegations were uncovered against the news host.
I felt that he had the power to derail me, to destroy me, to ruin my career, and I didn't have a voice until now.
This time, Henry was sued by 2 women who maintained that they were harassed and assaulted by him. Henry was suspended by the network when the accusations came to light and eventually fired after an investigation was carried out.
He was fired 3 weeks ago, shortly after the new claims against him first surfaced.
Number 5. Dan Rather. 2 weeks before the 2004 U.S. presidential elections, CBS aired an episode of 60 Minutes 2, in which Dan Rather presented a series of memos called the Killian Documents.
Last week on this broadcast, we heard for the first time the full story from a Texas politician who says he helped George Bush avoid military service in Vietnam.
These memos contained false allegations about former President George W. Bush's service in the Texas National Air Guard. As soon as the documents hit the internet, they were heavily scrutinized and alleged to be forgeries. Following weeks of mounting pressure, CBS retracted the story and fired the producers who brought it to the screen.
Those were facts, and that was true. Because it was true, those who wanted to discredit the story had to attack the process by which we got to the truth. And they successfully attacked us on that.
Although Rather stayed on much longer, he was eventually pushed out of the network after more than 4 decades working with them. The controversial events were dramatized in the 2015 movie Truth.
General, this is Dan Rather.
General. Sir, thank you for doing this.
Number 4. Jane Akre. Jane Akre spent years working as a reporter for local and national stations, but she is mostly known for her whistleblower case against WTVT, a Fox affiliate.
We were just the people to be the investigators.
Do any stories you want, ask tough questions, and get answers. So we thought, this is great, this is a dream job.
In 1997, Akre and her then-husband Steve Wilson put together a damning report about a biotechnology company called Monsanto. In a bid to kill the story, Monsanto reached out to Roger Ailes, the then Fox News president, informing him of the report's potential consequences.
1 week later, Monsanto sent the second letter, and this was even more strongly worded. And it said there will be dire consequences for Fox News if the story airs in Florida. And this time they freaked.
WTVT then chose to dump the story and refused to renew Akre and Wilson's contracts the next year. The couple took this as wrongful termination and filed a lawsuit against the network.
This isn't about being fired for no cause. You're firing us because we refused to put on the air something that we knew and demonstrated to be false and misleading.
Following a trial that dragged on for years, the court ruled in favor of WTVT, only siding with Akre on her whistleblower claim. Number 3. Chris Cuomo. Once a top-rated anchor at CNN, Chris Cuomo was fired by the news giant for his role in defending his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. The once beloved governor was alleged to have harassed multiple women over the course of his long political career.
She claims that the governor kissed her on the lips during a one-on-one briefing in his office and that he would go out of his way to touch her on the lower back, arms, and legs.
Citing a conflict of interest, Cuomo decided not to report on any of the allegations leveled against his brother on his primetime news program.
I never covered my brother's troubles because I obviously have a conflict, and there are rules at CNN about that.
But an investigation by the New York Attorney General's office revealed that he had secretly helped the former governor mount a defense against incoming harassment claims. This led to CNN suspending Cuomo indefinitely and eventually taking him off the network in December 2021.
I know where the line is. I can respect it and still be there for my family, which I must.
CNN finding that line crossed. Chris Cuomo fired following an inquiry over how he helped his brother, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Number 2. Matt Lauer. At the time of his dismissal, Matt Lauer had spent 20 years co-hosting NBC's popular Today morning show.
After 10 presidential interviews, 9 Olympics, and trips to more than 60 countries. Can you believe that? Wow. It's time to look back at some of Matt's most memorable moments right here on Today.
During his time at the network, Lauer interviewed several high-ranking political figures, covered multiple Olympic Games, and was once being paid a $20 million annual salary.
I was Mr. Nonchalant until about 25 minutes ago. We all went around the bus and started talking about our personal stories and how we got here, and now I'm just one mass of butterflies. I couldn't be happier.
In November 2017, NBC fired Lauer after a female colleague brought forward allegations of inappropriate behavior by the famed anchor. More allegations trickled in as time went by, with some sources claiming that the network was aware of Lauer's misconduct and chose to do nothing about it.
NBC's Matt Lauer has been fired over reports of inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace.
Lauer issued a statement after his termination in which he claims to be embarrassed by the accusations, but still dismissed some of them as false. Number 1. Bill O'Reilly. Topping our list is the scandal that brought down one of the most popular news anchors in broadcasting history.
So a supporter of yours, somebody who likes you, asked me yesterday, why doesn't Trump just stick to the issues, because some of them are resonating? Why does he have to get personal? How do you answer that?
Bill O'Reilly was the host of The O'Reilly Factor on the Fox News Channel, which was the #1 cable news show for 16 years straight. O'Reilly was ousted from the network in April 2017 after a bombshell report by the New York Times.
After a thorough and careful review of the allegations, the company and Bill O'Reilly have agreed that Bill O'Reilly will not be returning to the Fox News Channel.
The article revealed a series of harassment lawsuits brought against O'Reilly and the millions of dollars he had paid as settlement to his victims. The revelations caused the show to lose a significant proportion of its advertisers, and O'Reilly was pushed out of the network. He currently hosts a show on the conservative streaming platform, The First TV.
It's an anomaly because Fox News itself leans right. The poll leans left. Don't know why.